So Witcher 2, there's a lot of good to be said about Witcher 2. I mean, it's the combat is very smooth, feels very fluid. I like to change the key bindings on the higher difficulties. This time I played it on normal because I was lazy. On the higher difficulty ratings, I find changing some of the key bindings to be a little bit necessary to make it very smooth. Righteous TRVP should have kicked his ass. Maybe Righteous. It's fine. It's fine. Though he was the final boss, I think it's right. He doesn't deserve death. Well, Nick, the thing is, I actually think he does deserve death. Given my own Carruthers, I murder him every single time. Because frankly, he came up to the north and murdered those kings only on the order of the Emperor, which is going to make the north suffer a lot. Now, granted, the Geralt isn't like, hey, I'm gung-ho Temerian. However, he does care about the north, and that is where he happens to live. So, I don't think plunging an area into war because you were ordered to makes you not worthy of death. But anyway, so back to my review. So combat, very smooth, a lot of fun. I think a huge improvement over Witcher 1. In the higher difficulties, I like to rebind the keys, but that's about it. Graphically speaking, it's incredibly pleasing. I think they did a great job with the textures. I think they did a great job with the shadowing. And the overall character look was very nice. A lot of the costuming was very good. There is still a little bit of copy pasta for NPCs, which is... I can understand the decision choice. And they're generally just, you know, random NPCs in town or like peasants, and peasants generally look the same anyway. But yeah, so the copy pasta still exists, but overall I think the look of the game is still phenomenal. They introduced a crafting system in Witcher 2, which, while I love crafting systems and I love the fact that they added a crafting system, this crafting system was incredibly basic and it essentially just boiled down to, hey, go find these things and then talk to a shopkeeper who will assemble them. But still, I like crafting systems, so that was a nice improvement. The negatives. Oh, positives. Characters are awesome. I think the voice acting is great. There was a variety of quests in this game as opposed to just go kill this, bring us parts. So that I liked. Negatives. The game can be very short. If you don't do side quests, which kind of fill out and round out the game can be very, very short. It is possible to miss a lot of pretty interesting things about the game if you don't explore it. Now, that's not really a negative, being that, you know, obviously you're going to miss stuff about the world if you don't go explore the world, but it is something to note. I will say that the 3-chapter system all kind of worked out to basically the same thing. Show up to an area, explore, like, investigate what's going on, find out what's going on, fight a boss, get magically moved to the next place. It's alright, Cyrano. Yeah, I mean, if you don't do the side quests, experience-wise, you'd be in a bit of trouble, but that'd be fine. All in all, I will say on the lower difficulties, on every difficulty but the hardest difficulty, the game is pretty easy. And even on the hardest difficulty, it's not that bad. It really just isn't. So, but yeah, I mean, there really isn't a lot of negative things you can say about this game. So it's an amazing story. It's got great graphics. The combat is vastly improved, It can potentially be a little bit short. It does require key rebinding on higher difficulties. And they're not repetitive, but the general theme of the chapters is pretty similar. But it's really hard to point out at anything like truly negative. Oh, and another positive, the score. The sound effects and the score, I think, are very good. I will say as a random negative that there are still bugs in the game. There are still bugs. And occasionally the distance for talking is really weird. Like, you'll be looking at a character and it'll sound really far away, or you'll be really far away from your character and he'll sound very loud. But those are all pretty minor things. Like I said, it's an incredibly solid game that I happen to like a lot, and I'm very excited about Witcher 3. Oh, holy shit. Could I have been speeding this up the entire time? Dude, I'm a big dumb. Just gotta take more peds. Alright, so we're gonna speed this up so we can go ahead and see